Alright, just getting things ready to get going live. Okay, so we are on a championship race today, and it is at Charlotte. I actually need to check to see if Twitch was up. Yep, Twitch is up. Alright, so we're good to go. So let us get going with this race. Okay, so we are at Charlotte Motor Speedway. No, we don't resume sideways. Alright, so 120 laps at 100 strength. I had it at 100, I think 110, but they kept hitting the wall heading outside of the turn, so dropping down to 100 made that go away. So yeah, here is our standings. So we got Barker, Thorne, Grubb, Martin, and Bishop in the top 5. And McFadden, Shrivastava, Sanders, Martinez, and Yates all have some work to do today. Even though I don't think any of those, yeah, nobody in the back has even a chance.
Driver. But
they have a chance to win a ton of cash. Because I think the winning, the winning driver gets, I think it's like 20,000. No, it's 32,000, I think, for the championship races. And then for the All-Star race, when they race for $1 million, which is what will be happening right after this, it'll be, I think, everybody will split a purse of $1 million. But here we go, getting ready to start. Let's get back to the start. Barker currently has the best chances. He's currently on the pole position, though he is right next to Thorne. He definitely does have a ton of help by his teammate right behind him, Grubb. But I think Thorne, Bishop, and a few other drivers have had a ton of work done on their cars for this championship race. So we have a few drivers. Actually, a ton of drivers heading or making a ton of moves in the beginning of this race. As we see multiple 3 wides heading in. Here's one of the newer drivers, 27. 27 is Clinton. He has actually had, I think, 2 good races in a row earlier. I think he finished top 10 last race. I know he's only been in, I think, 5 or 6 races this year, and for the most part finishing in the 30s. So it's definitely good to see some of the newer drivers getting some top finishes. Go back to the front. It's right now still, well, Grubb actually ended up passing Barker, but really it's the first person of that top 10 that passes the finish line will be the championship. You definitely do not have to win the race. You just have to pass the line in front of the other 4 drivers. Just let me go ahead and see. I forgot what the 4 drivers are. I know Barker's one of them. As he goes on the inside of his teammate, looks like he's going to get some help by Thorne in that 0. We'll see if he's able to get past as Thorne does jump up to the inside to help out with Grubb in the 15. So yeah, right now Paul, Weber, Barker, and Walker Sr. are all in the championship. So any of those 4 drivers can win the championship as long as they just need to finish higher than the other 3 drivers. And as of right now, Barker is leading that. As we take a look back, let's see who's the next. So there's still a ton of racing left to do. Looks like this next driver is Weber, who's in currently 19th position in the championship. So looks like Barker has a decent space between himself and the second place. But definitely some interesting things have happened, especially if you remember last race. Multiple high or top drivers ended up getting into an incident during a pace lap. So really, in these championship races, anybody can win. We do kind of look for, it's like Walker Sr. currently is in 33rd position, so he has a ton of work to do. And then take a look for Paul is the next one. Actually, Paul's right behind him in that 4 car. As it looks like he's trying the inside of Walker Sr., but Walker Sr. is definitely not going to let that place go very easily, especially when they are currently in the 30th position. Scroll up to see some race. Looks like the front of the pack for the most part has started to stretch out. It's like Roland's dropped back a little bit, but Thorne right now in that 0 car is looking to see if they can get past these 2 Mayflower teams. I think her teammate Bishop is right behind her. I believe they're both on the same team. Right now, Barker and Grubb are just waiting, or right now just waiting. We're on lap 9 of 120, so there's still a ton of time. We take a look at the back. Looks like McFadden and Sanders in the 21 and 35 are all in the back, and the Sanders teammate Martinez in the 22 right now are bringing up the back of the pack. Well, they definitely want to get a decent finish today. You see, it does look like Paul in that 4 did not qualify well, and it doesn't really look like he was racing too well either, as he's currently in 36th position. So we definitely need to keep an eye on him. Looks like Walker Sr., he has moved up 1 position, so it does look like he is starting to move up a little bit. Yeah, he has he has about 100 or 110 laps to go to move up further. So I know he's probably looking for an incident or 2 to happen and not getting involved in it, just so he can take out a few drivers in front of him, as well as bringing the pack back together. As we see Weber currently in 20th position, I think he is slowly moving his way up to see if he can at least compete for that championship. But Cargo in that 54 is not going to give that position up, as we do see Torres. I think Torres, yeah, Torres in that 29 almost got past him. And we'll take a look up in the front. See, for the most part, they still are single file, as I think Martin in that 72 did end up catching Bishop and passing him, though Thorne is still in striking distance of the first 2, but they are starting to pull away, so she's definitely going to need some help if she's going to be able to catch up to these 2 as we hit lap 15 of 120. Take a look at the back of the pack again. I mean, it does look like Paul is slowly moving up. He passed a couple of drivers in this last lap. Currently in 35th position. He's still got a while to go. And as we see, it looks like Willis in that 99. Thinking about taking the inside line of the 3 of Walker Sr. Now Walker Sr. was able to close the door, but that 99 is still right there. Take a look at this pack going on. This pack right here with Weber in it. He wants to definitely move up if he can. He does have his teammate, the 32 car Baxter, right behind him. And in the last week's race, winner 24 Reeves is trying to move up to see if he can win two of the championship races and put himself in a position to get a decent ride for next year. Webber's currently in 23rd. It does look like Torres in that 29 was able to pass him, as well as part of the 18 of Guerrero. I think that he was passed or behind him as well, though he is going for the inside lane of the 18. He does have the help by Reeves, and Guerrero really is stuck on that outside line, which isn't the greatest. But he definitely is not going away, at least not right now. Looked like Webber had to slow down a bit to let Torres in, as now Webber now decides to take the outside lane to see if Davis in that 56 is going to be able to pull him past Torres in that 29. Though Reeves in that 24 almost was able to get his nose on the inside of Webber, as he does now get the nose in and is taking that inside lane. Look again at the leaders. Looks like Thorne has caught up to the first two drivers, or the top two Mayflower drives. Looks like maybe Martin helped push her a little bit. We'll see if they are, or if Thorne is able to get past any of these two, as they are right now nose to tail, just trying to keep their cars going as fast as they can. Though right now Thorne is not in the championship, so we'll see what strategy the Mayflower team takes to see if they're going to drive against her aggressively and possibly cause an issue, or if she gets a run, if they're going to let her go and basically play for the championship for Barker. Take a look at this back, the back of the pack. That includes the Walker Senior and Paul. Looks like they are for the most part just trading positions with this small pack that was formed after the main couple packs have moved away. So I'm sure they are waiting for either an incident or the green flag pit stops to start to see if they can make any moves. And then we take a look at Webber. Looks like Webber may have moved up at least one position. He's currently in 21st position. He has Davis and Cargo right in front of him, and then I think Taylor in that 52. As it looks like Torres is starting to push him past some of these guys, as they're doing 3 wide right behind them, with Walker Jr., Webber's teammate, and Baxter in that 32, and then Parker in the 38. Looks like Walker Jr. did get a run and ended up pulling away, and now they're back to 2 wide. But looks like Walker Jr. is making a decent run. He's currently in 21st or 25th position. And we head back to Webber, 21st or 20th position, so he gained another position. As now he is trying to decide which of these two drivers he's going to back. He looks like he's going to go for Taylor in that 57 on the outside, but since he did choose the outside line, Torres is right there to try to get on the inside, though Webber got a decent run heading out of that corner, and Torres looks like he may have checked up a bit and now is backed, it looks like 2 car lengths, as Taylor in that 57 takes a huge a wide turn in that corner, and Webber is able to pass him very easily. Not sure if Cargo pushed him up, but he dropped back behind Webber, and now he's going to have to work on Webber to try to get his position back, as Webber now is in 20th position. Still a while to go to get or catch up to Barker, but yeah, he still does have a decent amount of time to catch up, as Thorne still is right behind Barker in that 51, or that 51 of Barker, and Thorne in that 0. Looks like Grubb may have started to pull away a bit, so I think maybe Barker and Thorne were beside each other for maybe a half a lap or so, which caused Grubb to be able to pull away. We are on lap 26 of 120. Less than 100 laps to go. And coming up soon, they're going to start doing green flag pit stops, which can definitely cause some incidences. I think Charlotte has a decent pit entrance and exit, so there shouldn't be too many issues. But you definitely never know, especially with the stakes of the championship race. So we take a look at Weber again. Weber again has gained one other position. He's currently in 29th position, and he's right on that back bumper of Cargo, looking on the inside. So he is definitely moving up pretty quickly. He definitely has some work to do, but he is moving up. If he's able to get past Haas in that 8 car, he has basically nothing in front of him until he catches up to, I think, that main front pack. And we'll definitely see how well or how much this aggressive driving by Weber hurts his tires, if he has to take an earlier pit stop than some of the others, or if he tries to stretch it out and try to take a couple extra laps like one of the previous drivers did last week. It looks like Thorne and is starting to back off again of the top 2 drivers, as Barker now is cut back up to Grubb, and now they're running 1 and 2 again, and their teammate of Rollins is right behind Thorne in that 45 car. Still got a lot of time left. Last place only 13 seconds back, so we still got a while to go before anybody catches up to any of the lapped cars. Take a look at the back of the pack. It looks like, again, most of the same drivers are still in the pack, but they are staying with their drafting help. As we take a look at the other 2 drivers of the championship, and Walker Sr. and Paul, as they are really just sitting in the back of the main pack, and have not made too many moves, unlike Weber, who has moved up I think 5 or 6 positions. As we say, this looks like Paul is now trying to pass Williams in that 5 car. Does not look like Walker Sr. is going to be able to help him out at all. So we do have a little 3 wide going on towards the end of this track, but it looks like everybody's going to get out of that turn pretty easily. Scroll up again. Actually, it looks like Haas ended up taking a turn probably a little too high, and Cargo and Weber have both passed him, as Weber's currently in 18th position, so he's moving his way up every couple of laps, taking 1 or 2 positions. Though, as you can see in front of him, they are still starting to fall back further from the leaders. So it looks like he's about 9 seconds from the leader currently. So he has a ton of time to make up. But overall, it's definitely been a very clean race, as we are on lap 33 of 120. Doesn't look like too many people bumping into people. As we see, Rollins has finally caught up to Thorne and may make a move. As he does, takes that inside line of Thorne. Thorne has some help by Barker, but Barker almost touches Rollins in that 45, ends up having to bounce up to stay out of the corner of Rollins. Looks like he took his foot off the gas a little bit, as Thorne is still right behind him. Thorne again is still behind him. or right beside him, though he has that inside line, so I don't think she's going to be able to hold it too much, especially if she wants to take her or keep her tires going or fresh. But she is still right there. Yeah, she gets about halfway through the corner. She gets a decent run. So she is not going anywhere. She gets a really good run out of that fourth turn and just pulls right past Rollins. So from what it looks like Thorne in that zero is going to need some help to make a run at this. So we'll have to keep an eye. It looks like Williams is heading into the pits. Looks like the first driver to run into the pits is one of the drivers in the back of the pack. So she may be just trying to get a decent run on some of these guys. It looks like all the rest of the main pack is coming in. Doesn't look like any issues. No issues coming into the pits. That's definitely good for most of these drivers. As here comes the second pack. Coming in. Ooh, looks like Haas almost. Oh, and there he goes. Haas in that 8 decides to try to be cheeky and try to juke somebody and ends up smashing hard into the wall of pit road, causing multiple cars to slam on their brakes. I'm not sure if anybody else got any damage on that, but definitely not what most drivers wanted to see. So we can go ahead and pause this race and rewind this to see Haas in this 8 decide to try to do something sneaky, and he just take an inside run of his car. And yeah, it looks like he was trying to do something. Yeah, definitely not what Reeves wanted to do. That may have just ended Reeves' chance to compete in this race. You just see some front end damage on him. So we are definitely going to have to see what's going on there. But yeah, definitely Haas in that 8 decides he wants to do something fun and ends up taking himself out, most likely, as well as may have hurt Reeves in that 24's chance of competing in this race. But no caution since the incident happened in the pits. And looks like for the most part everybody has taken a pit stop and has rejoined the track with no issues. Ooh, looks like Green almost takes Vega in the 88 into the wall. Looks like maybe Green didn't like that. Vega kind of turned into him. But overall looks like they will stay clean. At least for now. We look forward to 51. Looks like for the most part the cars. Looks like Reeves had to stay in a couple extra laps on a green flag pit stop. As we're watching this one, go ahead and take a look real quick. Yeah, Haas ends up pulling out of the race. Reeves still hasn't gone a lap to pass him, but there is, looks like Barker, I think currently in the lead, is starting to pass some of the other drivers. So it looks like Walker Sr. Has a lot more work to do now, as he is now a lap down. And looks like maybe, yeah, Walker Sr. lap down, but he is still right there. He has a chance to get past, to get his lap back. Yeah, so right now Thorne ends up using Walker Jr.'s car to cut off Barker at 51 to get past him. So it looks like Barker now is just pushing Walker Jr. as Walker Sr. is helping Thorne. Let's see, looks like Thorne is going to lead this lap. Is she going to? Looks like Barker finally decides to jump to the inside to get past Walker Jr. As Walker Jr. is still just trying to stay on the lead lap. But it doesn't look like he's going to be able to keep, especially with these two fast cars drafting with each other. And then 45, who's currently in second place, is starting to catch up to these guys. As, yeah, Walker Jr. just is not going away. Even just basically driving completely by himself. So Walker Sr. may be jumping up to help him. Oh, it looks like Barker now jumped to the outside and is now trying to help out Walker Jr. And looks like Walker Jr. jumped to the inside and left Barker just hanging out to dry, as Barker now does finally get past Thorne in that zero to take the lead again. We're going to take a quick look at these other cars. Looks like Paul's still in 20 or in 26th position. He has a ton of work to do. Now Weber's still moving up. He's currently in 17th position. And we're actually going 3 wide right now. Cars are just trying to stay on the lead lap. So, and as these cars are still staying right beside each other, some of the back or cars behind this main pack is starting to catch back up. As you see, it looks like Barker in at 51 has finally gotten past Walker Jr. And Thorne might be next as she's taking that inside route. We'll see if Guerrero is able to catch up to any of these guys, as she's going to try to get Barker's drafting, or the tail end of Barker's draft to help pull her, but ends up not being able to do that. So Walker Jr. definitely does have a decently fast car, as he's able to keep up with these lead cars. And then here comes Rollins in the 45, currently 3rd place, catching up to Thorne. We do see these leaders are starting to catch up to another pack of cars, as here comes Rollins and Thorne in that 45 and 0. They are still trying to get past Walker Jr. Yeah, they are just not able to get past him. Looks like Thorne has finally gotten past Walker Jr. Especially with his car, he's not going to go away. Especially for the 45 of Roland stays there, but he's taking that inside line, trying to get past Walker Jr. as the leaders are catching up, actually caught up to Reeves in that 24, so definitely some issue going on with that 24 caused by Haas in the pits. So 24 is definitely not driving as fast as he should. As we see Grubb and it looks like Martin and Reeves almost touch. But here comes Grubb and Martin slowly catching up to his main pack in the front. As these guys continue to battle it out, these back cars are going to start catching up to them. So we take a look, there's really not too much other pack racing coming on. Paul's currently in 25th position. And Weber is still in, or has moved to 16th, so he is starting to move his way up. As we see Grubb now taking that inside line on Martin in that 72. Not able to get there this turn, but Barker is pulling away as Thorne and Rollins continue to battle for second place. And really, Walker Jr. is more than happy to draft with any of these guys, any of them that are gonna help get him closer to getting his lap back. It looks like for the most part, most cars are running in small packs now. Weber's still 16th, so he is taking a look at Emerson, trying to get past the 84. He should get past him with the help of Prescott in that 19 car. Though it looks like, I mean, that outside line is not, the slowest line here today. As Emerson is still right there beside Weber, even with no drafting help at all. Looks like Weber's finally gotten past him. Come back looking to the lead. Yeah, it looks like Rollins at 45 has finally gotten past everybody. And Walker Jr. is still right there beside Thorne, really slowing Thorne down and not letting her catch up to Barker or Rollins now that Rollins passed him. And it looks like she's still, she finally got past Walker Jr., but we will definitely see if that's going to stay, especially with Guerrero right behind them, and then Grubb, who's looking to get back into the top 3. We are on lap 57 of 120, so there still is plenty of time, but definitely the cars who need to make moves need to start making them sometime soon. There's going to be at least another pit stop, at least one more pit stop here at Charlotte. We see Grubb now working his way past Walker Jr. Looks like he will get past him if he's able to clear this turn without Walker Jr. getting a run, and he's not going to get a run. And again, Barker's still leading this race. Not a whole ton of cars that can compete with him, especially when he's got a teammate right behind him. Grubb taking over third place from Thorne. Take a look. Looks like Paul, I mean, look at him, he moved up a couple of positions, currently in 24th, so he's definitely right there, and with a chance to move up more. Weber currently in 14th, so he's moving up a decent amount. He does, I think, need some help with maybe an incident or caution or a very good pit stop. And Walker Sr. is currently in 35th position. Definitely not the greatest race by him in that number 3. So barring any major catastrophe, looks like he may not be able to compete for the championship, as right now Barker is currently leading this race as well as leading the championship. So as long as he just finishes ahead of currently Weber, who's currently in 14th position, he will win the playoffs. So definitely still a ton of work to do. I think there's a little less than 60 laps remaining, so there's still a ton of time. Rollins is finally caught up to Barker, so we'll see if Rollins is going to either let Barker win or Barker is going to let Rollins get past him. So it looks like Barker is running, or Rollins in that 45 is running much faster than Barker currently. Yeah, it looks like Massa so far had the fastest lap. And then Prescott and then Thorne. And looks like Rollins is right on the corner. Yeah, right on that corner of Barker. That definitely was a very dangerous move entering into that corner. Look like, and here he comes again. Rollins looking for to get past Barker to try to win a race. There's still plenty of time, so he definitely does not have to try to get past anybody. But here he comes as Barker does lead that lap, lap 64 of 120, and gets a very good run in the middle of that corner. But again, Rollins is right there. It looks like Reeves in that 24 has blown an engine. We'll see if he's able to get off the track or if that's going to cause a caution. But yeah, Rollins is racing his teammate Barker, who currently is right now in the championship as caution does come out. But yeah, definitely Rollins is racing extremely hard for not being in the championship and with over 60 laps remaining. Seeing if no cautions out there. It looks like Reeves was able to get back into the pits, though he may have leaked something on the track, which is why they called the caution. Okay, we can definitely take a look, see what happened. Probably just blew an engine, which he had some issues heading into the pits. The last yeah, it looks like he just blew an engine. At least nobody was around him, so nothing really happened. To the leaders. Looks like everybody's coming into the pits. Hopefully no other issues. Doesn't look like it. Looks like, for the most part, I don't think anybody on a caution is going to try to do anything too fancy. Small traffic jam here as people are trying. Torres, what are you doing? Sometimes the IEA is amazing in this race. Doesn't look like too much damage, but definitely slammed hard into the back of one of his other drivers. But the main thing is Barker, Grubb, and Roland still in the front. Looks like Roland's dropped back one position, but we'll see how aggressive he drives after that pit stop. We're on lap 67 off 120 with Thorne right there, right behind. Actually, Guerrero's a lap down, but looks like Thorne is in 4th place. So yeah, here we are at the final race, championship race, with Barker currently in the best chance to win this race. It looks like Weber is currently in 14th position. And let's see, looks like Paul's in 23rd position. And Walker Sr.'s in 35th position. Yeah, and I think that was all the top 4. So Barker first, Weber 14th, Paul is in 23rd, and then Walker Sr.'s in 35th. So Walker Sr. still a lap down, so he still has a ton of work to do. We'll see if he's able to get a good run on this restart to try to get his lap back, though he is behind a couple of drivers. As we should have an interesting restart, as we do have a double file restart, so it should be an interesting one. I don't think there's really any driver right now that is running extremely slow. Maybe Barker or Parker in the 38, which is at the tail end of the lap down pack, as it looks like he does have some heavy back end damage. So I think during that Haas pit incident, I think somebody may have slammed in the back of him, though I did not see that during the time, but it does look like he does have heavy damage, and right now that was the only issue. And then this caution was basically caused just by Reeves blowing an engine. Reeves also was involved in that Haas, Haas pitting incident, slamming hard in the back of Haas after Haas ran into the wall. But he was able to get back into the race as Haas pulled out, but he ended up blowing an engine, as he definitely was not able to keep speed. As we are about to go back green, we can see what the Mayflower Racing does. They are able to get a good run on Guerrero and McFadden in 35. So we take the green flag. As there's actually a wreck right at the start. That is definitely an interesting thing to see. Definitely did not see that coming. As somebody ended up on their hood. Heavy damage by Tyler, the 57. As we are back in caution as they're racing back to the line. They're actually 3 wide right here. It doesn't look like anybody was able to get past Barker. We'll see if anybody's able to get past him, but it's like Hannah was involved in that as well. That's 16, so we can rewind and see what happened on that restart. It was Hannah. Looks like he just completely flipped over. It looks like maybe Bowers in the 05 and Barker just kind of clipped each other, and then sends Sanders in that 30 or 21 spinning, and Hannah hard into the wall, and then Bowers comes back up and hits him in the back, and that's when the smoke starts. And as soon as Hannah gets sideways, slammed hard in the back by Taylor, and it looks like maybe Sheets in the 31, that blue 31 that's basically behind him. and just keeps on flipping. So we could take a quick roof cam and see what happened in real time. Yeah, it looks like he went over multiple times and may end his day, but at least he's able to drive away. And now everybody's racing back to the line. We'll see how Taylor's pit crew in that 57 is able to fix him up. Some of the cars that were involved in the incident are running into the pits. Doesn't look like too many issues, as now they're trying to get back in line. As we were back live, looks like in all that scram, looks like Guerrero, not Guerrero's 31st, so he just was able to hold his position. But yeah, looks like the top I guess top 4 or 5 or 6 did not change. Looks like Sanders coming back out. Let me take a look, see who ended up pulling out. Looks like Taylor pulled out. Yeah, Taylor, Hannah, both ended up pulling out of the race. As we had another caution on that restart. So something you normally don't see. There's a caution on the restart. But we had it, so we should go green, or not go green, but go the last caution up should be this one, I believe. I don't believe any of the leaders ended up pitting this time. And it will be, as we have the lap cars now speeding up to catch up. It doesn't look like we have any new lapped cars, which is good for most of these drivers. As we do still have Mayflower running 1, 2, and 3, and then Thorne and Martin right behind them. Of course, the addition of these lapped cars beside them and in this main mix is definitely going to make the racing interesting, as well as maybe causing some issues, as we did have that issue just now on that restart. Hopefully no issues this time. We don't have any issues in previous restarts, though we've actually only had that one restart, or that one green flag at the start of the race. So hopefully there's no crazy issues on this restart, as we are coming around to get the green flag and seeing if these drivers can, or if these Mayflower drivers can continue to pull ahead. As here comes the green flag, as we get a green flag. Everybody's starting to bunch up in the right behind everybody, as we were going 3 wide for multiple lanes back. There was a couple of bumps going on, but looks like everybody was able to stay clean. But we still have a long time to go to try to get to 1 lap before get a lap done. So we do see the lead may change. watching this huge pack that is formed right behind the leaders. There's really any sort of mess up by anybody is going to cause a very big wreck, especially if it happens right in front of these guys. I mean, it is starting to calm down a bit in the front, but still in the back, there's still a decent sized pack going 3 wide. This is definitely what some of these drivers wanted. Basically squish back up so they can get move up a decent number of positions quickly. But of course, they always run the risk of crashing. We do see Weber getting stuck on that outside. Is definitely not where he wants to be. He's currently in 9th position, so he's definitely moving up. As we do look like we have 4 wide heading into that corner. It looks like Emerson pulls back, which is definitely what he needed to do, because 4 wide in this track will not work, especially heading outside the corners. But still, Weber in that 33 has a ton of work to do. He's currently in 9th position, but he has a ton of cars in front of him. So that restart definitely helped him, but it also put a ton of lapped cars right in front of him. Looks like Green took that outside lane very high. Looks like he got pushed to the outside a bit. Looks like most cars are starting to figure out where they need to be, as right now Grubb is leading the race with Parker right behind him and Rollins running 3rd. It looks like Thorne currently still is in 4th position, but she's got 2 cars to pass. She looks like she's about to pass Guerrero in that 18. There's still a pretty decent pack right behind all of these guys. The restarts here at Charlotte are definitely very interesting and very exciting, especially when there are issues. Yeah, but I mean, here comes Thorne, or here comes Bishop. I think Thorne's teammate trying to work his way up. As looks like Bishop through Shrivastava and Walker Senior now going 3 wide. Looks like Bishop was able to get past them. As now it looks like Guerrero and Thorne was able to go 3 wide to get past McFadden. We take a look at this back end of the pack. Still similar, same names. A few of them are the drivers that were in the back or now towards the front and are starting to trickle themselves back to the back of the pack. But yeah, for the most part, they have started to stretch themselves back out. As we see Rollins in the 45 taking the inside lane of Barker. It didn't look like he was too aggressive trying to take that position, as he was earlier before the, I guess, not the previous, or before the first caution. He was very aggressive trying to get past Barker, who was running first place at the time. So we take a look at some of the cars towards the end. Looks like in the middle there's a little bit of racing going on, but everybody has started to sort themselves out. Looks like Weber has dropped a couple of positions, but it definitely happens when you have a huge pack get stuck on the outside and you drop a couple. But I think he would be able to catch up a few, or get a couple extra positions. But definitely he needs to start moving now to catch up to the leaders. He can still see the leaders, so that is definitely good. So he is definitely in striking distance, but he has a lot of work to do, especially because they are now just driving away from the main pack. And it looks like for the most part, the entire pack has stretched out. It's like Moto in the 34 almost bumped into somebody, but was able to save it there. Score on lap 86 of 120. So I'm not sure when, if they're going to have at least one more pit stop. I know if there is another caution, there's definitely going to be at least a pit stop. But everybody did a pit stop before the previous caution. I think only the cars that were involved in the wreck ended up taking a pit stop during the most recent caution, as we do see Rollins at 45, right behind Grubb. He seems to be driving pretty aggressively for all of his teammates being in, you know, first, second, and third. But we would definitely have to keep an eye on that, as there's a small pack forming here, as I think a couple of the lap cars are starting to trickle back into the pack and causing some of these guys to slow down a bit. Yeah, they are going to start to stretch out slowly. As Walker Jr. or Walker Sr. is currently in 33rd position. Weber's currently in 11th, so he has some work to do. Yeah, definitely he has to catch up to the 84, who is right behind him, or is right in front of him. And again, looks like the 45 is, you know, riding the tail of his teammate. Looks like Grubb got a good run getting out of that corners, put some distance between him and Rollins. But it looks like Rollins at 45 is just trying to get the win. So we are on lap 90 of 120. So almost less than 30 laps to go. Still a decent amount of time remaining. As we have a slight 3 wide going on with Sanders, not Baxter. Who's the 88? Vega and Torres. But they end up sorting themselves out pretty quickly. And here comes Weber trying to get to the inside of Emerson to get to that top 10 position. Emerson gets stuck on the outside with no drafting help. So Weber still has a decent chance. Is currently in 10th position as Walker Jr. almost bumps into him. But yeah, Weber definitely has to make a move now if he wants a chance to chance for the championship. I mean, he's currently running, I think, second place in championship standings. I mean, the leaders are starting to pull away, so if he does need to make a move, he needs to make it now. As far as, I mean, from what it looks like, he definitely needs Barker or something to happen to Barker. It does look like, it looks like Baxter, the 32, has taken a pit stop. Not sure if this is scheduled pit stop, but she is in there. I think she was on the lead lap, but definitely not in the lead lap anymore with a green flag pit stop. So if everybody else starts taking pit stops now, She'll probably gain that lap back, but it does not look like they are going to. At least not right now. It looks like some of the drivers are going to take pit stops now. So it looks like maybe the leaders will be taking pit stops in the near future. We'll definitely see how that early pit stop helps or hurts Baxter. May be able to get her to move up a couple of positions. It doesn't look like the leader is taking a pit stop now, Grubb. As the other two Mayflower teammates decide to stay out. And it looks like Weber is also taking a pit stop now, along with a few other drivers. We'll see if Rollins takes a pit stop now. Still not a pit stop. So it looks like he's going to take a couple more laps. Moto in the 34. I don't know if he has fresher tires than Barker, but he's right on his tail. Still doesn't look like he's going to take a pit stop this time. There's two front two cars. So it looks like they are going to try to stretch their gas and tires as far as they can. But yeah, as you see, Moto in the 34 is catching them and passing them, so they do need to think about taking a pit stop for new tires, especially with the 34, who really is not the fastest car here at Charlotte right now, is able to get past them with somewhat ease. Weber's currently in 32nd, but I think that's just because a ton of drivers still have not taken a pit stop yet. And here's Moto trying to get on the inside of Rollins. Though I know Moto has to be careful, as Rollins really has not had a chance to take a pit stop yet, so he will be slowing down in the next couple of laps. And if Moto is, not paying attention, or spotter does not let him know that Rollins taking a pit stop, this could end very badly, as Moto is right behind Rollins. And he still will not take a pit stop this lap. I think there's only been about maybe 15, maybe 20 cars that have taken a pit stop. And the rest of the main pack still have not taken that pit stop yet. This last pit stop of the race, there's 19 laps remaining. I don't think there's enough gas in any of those cars to make it. Moto is right there, so Rollins really needs to let him know that he's going to take a pit stop sometime in the next couple of laps. As here comes Barker now heading into the pits with a couple of other cars. I'm not sure what Rollins' 45 is doing. He's still in the lead. I think the most of the other cars have now taken a pit stop, but he has not yet. And now Moto's taking that outside line. And there we go. Looks like Rollins now has decided to take a pit stop 5 or 6 laps after most of the other cars. So it doesn't look like any issues really. And it looks like now that Parker has taken a pit stop, looks like looks like everybody else has now taken a pit stop. Oh, it looks like Thorne also took a very late pit stop too, as we see the 0 heading into the pit, or getting into her pit stop or pit stall. And it looks like all 4 tires for everybody. Probably a full tank of gas. As right now, it does not look like there's going to be a caution flag. Oh, look at that. Oh, there's actually a big crash. And I think the leaders are starting to catch up. Oh, Grubb almost just nicks Jarvie. Doesn't look like anything else is going on. But yeah, Jarvie's trying to stay low, get into the pits. Let's go ahead and see what happened. As I definitely did not knock on wood, as I was saying, there's probably not going to be another caution. Yeah, it looks like it was already starting. Oh, it looks like somebody blew an engine. Emerson? Yep, Emerson blew an engine leaving pit road. Yeah, Emerson blows an engine. Guerrero in that 18 just gets stuck behind him. Torres is trying to get past. It looks like Guerrero has some front end damage. So I'm not sure why Guerrero is getting back behind Emerson, but yeah, it looks like Guerrero's turning right in front of Jay King. Ends up making Jay King turn and clipping Saunders in the 21, and ends up taking himself into the wall. And then as Saunders is trying to get back into the track, he clips Jarvie, and Jarvie, takes his back end into the wall, and then collecting Guerrero. And it looks like Willis just drives through, as there's a huge space between these cars that are currently wrecking. And then of course Emerson is trying to get to the inside so he doesn't cause any other issues. We're now fast forwarding to get to the live race. So we have at least another caution flag. We take a look. Looks like Emerson was the only one that ended up pulling out of the race from that issue, as he blew an engine. But Jay King's 2 laps down, Saunders, Jarvie, and Guerrero are all 2 laps down. And actually, after those pits, let's take a look. Looks like Grubb is in first, Juith in second, O'Brien, Baxter, Barker fifth. Looks like there will be a race for the championship, as Barker and Weber are right next to each other. Let's take a look. Yes, Barker and Weber are, I guess they're running 5th and 6th. But right here is the championship. The championship is actually take a look just to see if there's anybody else. Paul is on the lead lap, but he's all the way back in 17th position. And then Walker Jr., Walker Sr., who's currently in 32nd, is a lap down, as we are starting to run out of laps for him to catch back up. So as of right now, barring any crazy issues, looks like the race is going to be right here between the 51 and 33. But I would not put it past any of these issues, and would not put it past Paul to catch up, as this will be the last caution flag, and we'll have a little over 10 laps, I guess, before we crown a champion. So yeah, Barker and Weber are going to be really into the thick of it, as they are going to be behind, you know, about maybe 10 cars. So they definitely are going to have to pick their lanes, as getting stuck on the outside at the restarts. We do have very close restarts here at Charlotte. Getting stuck on that outside, it can drop, you know, 5 or 6 positions in one corner. So they are stuck on that outside line, so they are going to be racing to see who can get to that inside line first. Rollins, which is Barker's teammate, is right behind Weber, so Weber is currently in a sandwich between the two Mayflower teams, and Rollins in that 45 so far has really been very aggressive this race. As we take a look and see, it looks like green flag has dropped and cars are just spreading out, trying to get to a good lane. It looks like Barker in the 51 got a great restart, as he just drove away from the 33 of Weber. It looks like two main groups have formed. Looks like Sanders in that 21 is stuck right in that middle. And yeah, Barker just drove away from everybody. And again, you see that 33 of Weber got stuck on the outside and ends up dropping almost to the back of this main group. So very quickly can drop a ton of positions. So Weber's currently in 8th place, so he has a ton of work to do with only a little bit of time remaining. Yeah, right now it looks like Barker just sprung straight to that 2nd place position and just drove away. That was a crazy restart, crazy good restart for Barker, as he really drove away from that entire group. I think he just got a great run and got lucky that nobody was on that outside line, and he just took off. And now he ends up passing Grubb for the lead. They're driving away. And we're on lap 112 of 120. Take a look at some of the cars going on, or racing going on in the back of the pack. Looks like mostly just 2-wide racing. Looks like Weber maybe dropping back a little bit further than I thought he would, as that second main pack has caught up to him and starting to pass him. Not sure if he just got a bad restart or something else happened. But this main pack right now forming. Looks like O'Brien is starting to drop back as well. McFadden currently leading this main pack. He's 28, so he's over a lap down. See Weber currently in 8th position. He still has a chance if he can get some good runs and get a little bit of drafting help by a couple of these guys. And he needs a lot of help by Barker. He needs Barker to probably run into a wall. Doesn't look like that's probably going to happen, but you never know. As Weber, he's dropped another position, 9th place. So We do have a 3 wide going on towards the back of this main pack. Looks like Baxter at 32 may have not gotten everything put back together. She is not driving very quickly. Fast forward, yeah, Barker and Grubb are pretty far away from each other, and Grubb is, or Barker is just driven away from his teammate Grubb. And the Rollins is also caught up, or pulled away. So we're up at 116 of 120. I think right now, if there's any issues, it will be a caution or a yellow flag finish. As Weber has a ton of work to do. I don't think he has enough time. I mean, he's 11th position still. I don't think he's going to catch up. But it looks like as long as he stays clean, he'll finish 2nd place. Which is definitely going to be hard to do in this main pack. Especially with cars that are just trying to move up a couple of positions, because moving up a couple of positions can get them a decent amount of extra money. So there will be some aggressive drivers going on. Towards the end of this race, we do have 3 wide going on between a couple of drivers that, one that's in the championship, but really has not been too much of a thing in this race, as Walker Sr. has been lapped down for a decent amount of laps. As he's currently in 30th position, and still 3 wide. And going 3 wide with Jay King, definitely not something you want to do. King has already been involved in one issue today. Definitely was not his fault, but still. As this pack is forming right here towards the end of this race. So we take the white flag. As we scroll up to find the leaders. So yeah, Barker has pulled really far away. I think they did end up catching a couple of lapped cars. But it looks like Barker will win this race as well as win the championship, as he's coming to the line completely alone and takes the Charlotte Championship race. I think his teammate Rollins and then his teammate Grubb finished 1, 2, and 3. Followed by Mast finishing 4th, Vega finishing 5th, and Martin may have finished 6th, but we will see, take a look at the official standings. It looks like Green finished 6th. Definitely interesting. And yeah, actually Paul actually ended up finishing ahead of Weber's. Weber just completely fell out after that restart and dropping all the way back to 21st position, letting Paul come up and take over 2nd place. And then, so yeah, Weber 4th place, and then Walker Sr. ended up finishing So yeah, it was Barker winning the championship, Paul finishing 2nd place in the championship, Weber finishing 3rd place, and then Walker Sr. finishing 4th place. And of course Barker winning the race as well. We're going to save that just in case anything crazy happens. But yeah, definitely was a very interesting race. So a few issues, definitely, it's only, 5 drivers ended up pulling out of the race, 2 for a blown engine, and then Haas just trying to be cheeky, trying to trick people, trying to stay out, and ends up hitting the pit road wall. But yeah, so congratulations to Barker and Mayflower Racing, winning the championship playoffs. as well as winning the race here. So definitely a good payday for the Mayflower team, finishing 1, 2, and 3. And then Mast finishing 4th, Vega 5th, Green 6th, Martin 7th, Thorne 8th, Clinton 9th, and then Paul finishing 10th, but then 2nd place in the standings. So congratulations, Barker and Mayflower Racing. I'll be posting more updates in the Discord about finishing up this season, finishing up some of the, small details of Season 1, and then it's going to be a decent amount of work for Season 2 as we are changing mods. So if you are looking to race Season 2, either let me know if you need me to design your new car, or if you want to design it. I think I posted links to the new car templates, so just let me know if you need me to design, or if you want to design it in your team feed, and then I'll get everything updated and close out Season 1. So yeah, congratulations, Barker and Mayflower Racing. So I'll see you guys next season.